Have you ever noticed? Some people never try to hurt anyone. They choose their words carefully because they do not want to hurt people's feelings. They like helping others. They make sacrifices. They do their best to be there for everyone. But strangely enough, they often do not receive the respect they deserve. Maybe you are one of them. Maybe for years, you have been trying to be a good person. You try to understand people, take the high road, and show patience and compassion. But sometimes you find yourself wondering, if I treat people so well, why do some people still not give me the respect I deserve? Because there is a truth that many people never realize. Being kind and being perceived as strong are not the same thing. And sometimes, certain things you do with the best intentions can be interpreted very differently from how you mean them. For example, constantly apologizing. Of course, apologizing when you've made a mistake is the right thing to do. But some people seem to apologize just for existing. They apologize when they ask for something. They apologize when they ask a question. They apologize when they share their opinion. They apologize to keep the peace. They apologize so no one feels uncomfortable. After a while, people begin to pick up a message without even realizing it. This person doesn't seem very confident, and most people find it difficult to trust someone who doesn't seem to trust themselves. So if you haven't actually done anything wrong, you don't need to keep apologizing just to make everyone else comfortable. Because every unnecessary apology is a quiet surrender of your own worth. Another common mistake is over-explaining yourself. Think about it. You take 10 sentences to explain something that could have been said in 2. You explain why you did what you did. You explain why you think the way you do. You explain why you're right. As if you constantly have to defend yourself. Confident people do not feel the need to prove themselves all the time, because they know it is impossible to convince everyone. Sometimes, strength is not found in saying more, but in explaining less. Because people pay attention not only to what you say, but also to how you say it. And now let's talk about one of the most dangerous traps of all: constantly sacrificing yourself for others. Sacrifice is a noble quality, but making sacrifices for people who do not deserve them rarely earns you respect. Instead, it drains you. You give your time. You give your energy. You stay patient. You keep showing understanding, again and again. But over time, some people stop seeing those things as acts of kindness and start seeing them as something they can keep taking from. Because there is a strange side to human nature. People tend to take for granted what is always available to them. That is why you should not invest the same energy in everyone. And do not assume everyone is as conscientious as you are. Be a good person, but be a good person with boundaries. And then there is this. What do you do when someone gives you a compliment? Oh, it's not that big of a deal. I just got lucky. It was pure coincidence. Why? Why is it so hard to simply accept a compliment? Because many people confuse humility with putting themselves down, but those are two very different things. If someone appreciates your effort, accepting it is not arrogance. It is simply refusing to deny the truth. Sometimes, simply smiling and saying, "Thank you," is enough. And perhaps one of the biggest mistakes people make is trying to please everyone. Think about it. How many times have you worried about what other people would think instead of doing what you truly wanted to do? How many times have you stayed silent just to avoid criticism? How many times have you abandoned your own needs just so no one else would feel uncomfortable? But no matter what you do, it never ends. Because some people have already decided to misunderstand you. Some people are looking for reasons to criticize you. And some people will never be satisfied, no matter what you do. Maybe this is something you needed to hear. Even if you were an angel, some people would be bothered by the sound of your wings. So stop trying to explain yourself to everyone. And stop trying to convince everyone. Don't try to respond to every criticism. Because sometimes, the more you try to prove yourself, the less powerful you appear. For some people, the most powerful response is not an explanation. It's silence. Remember this. You do not have to be rude to be respected. You do not have to be harsh. And you certainly do not have to hurt people. But you do need to protect your self-worth. Because being kind-hearted is not the same as letting people take advantage of you. Being kind is not the same as looking weak. And being selfless is not the same as losing yourself. And perhaps the one sentence you should remember from this video is this: people rarely value you more than you value yourself. So don't stop being kind-hearted. But don't lose yourself just to be liked. Because true respect does not begin with how other people treat you. It begins with how you treat yourself.